Hi guys, welcome to Hoops Junction. Vlad here. Today we're talking about Kevin Durant and if his decision was validated to go to the Golden State Warriors. A lot of people take umbrage with him, going to the Golden State Warriors after they had a 3-1 lead on the Warriors and they could have closed them out and went to NBA Finals. I understand that, a lot of guys are old school. They're like, we don't want to play with the best. We want to beat the best. That's like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson's MO, because they come from that era where competition meant everything. Like a lot of guys from the 90s, 80s, they don't have rings, but they get just as much respect as the guys who do have rings because they know, everybody knows deep down in their mind, I beat you, I got a ring, but you weren't that off. Like Reggie wasn't that off. Patrick Ewing wasn't that off. There's so many great, Stockton and Malone, they weren't that off. There were many games that they possibly could have stolen. Michael Jordan doesn't have 2 3-peats. So these guys weren't that off. So we respect that. We respect that. And a lot of people didn't respect Kevin Durant for doing what he did. I'm going to tell you this. Even though I didn't like it, when he was a free agent, I thought about it long and hard. I said, what team can he possibly go to where he can mesh, possibly win a championship, and it fits? Pardon me. I thought about it long and hard. And when I thought about it, I said he's not going to stay in OKC because him and Russell Westbrook, they haven't been to the finals since 2012. It was like it would be going on 6 years. If he stayed there again, they wouldn't make it. Even if they went to the finals last year, they would have probably lost in 5 or 6 games because that Oklahoma City team was not good. It wasn't as good as it needed to be. Even though we were up 3-1 on the champs, part of that was because of Curry's injury. He wasn't necessarily playing well. And on top of that, Roberson was hitting a ton of threes. But then when the series started getting tighter, Roberson was nowhere to be found. The role players didn't play how they were supposed to be. So if Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook went to the finals with that team, OKC team, I'm pretty sure Vegas would have favored them a little bit, maybe, because they're younger and they're back again. But when it came time to be on that court, LeBron James and Kevin Durant would cancel each other out. Kyrie Irving and Russell Westbrook would not cancel each other out because Westbrook is a great player, but he takes bad shots. And basically, I think they would probably put J.R. Smith on Russell Westbrook and hide Kyrie Irving a little bit to let him dance. Because Westbrook is not necessarily the A1 defender. He makes a lot of bad mistakes on the weak side. And Cleveland Cavaliers thrive on that. And Kevin Love, they wouldn't have an answer for him because Steven Adams would be going out to the three-point line. He's not comfortable playing out there. So Cleveland would have beat them definitely. That's a no-brainer. So he's like, I can't stay in OKC. People are like, okay, San Antonio. Makes a lot of sense. Greg Popovich, the system. But Kevin Durant is not the kind of talent where he needs to be restricted. Plus, he's not, I don't think him and Kawhi would have been a great tandem together. But him, Kawhi, and Aldridge, it's like, it doesn't, him and Kawhi make sense. But him and Aldridge, I don't see how that works out. I don't see how that works out really because Aldridge is a sometimes guy. You saw that in the playoffs where the Golden State was able to take him out. He's a sometimes guy. And Kevin Durant doesn't want to go through that. He doesn't want to go to a place as well where he can't have fun and play ball. You can tell that he's the kind of guy that he wants to have fun when he's playing. He wants to, not feel so much pressure and get yelled at for no reason. Manu Ginobili actually had to tell Greg Popovich, about Kawhi. He was like yelling at Kawhi, and Manu was like, Pop, like, you gotta let him live like this. He's that good. He could make some mistakes sometimes. It's okay. So I didn't see the way that was gonna work because him going there would put immense pressure, not only from people saying whatever, but Greg Popovich demands a lot out of you. I don't think Kevin Durant will be able to live up to that challenge and have a good time and be himself. I just don't think he would be himself there. People are like, okay, he could go back home to the Wizards. Wizards, they're a great team. No, they're a good team. But he would go to Eastern Conference, play against LeBron's stacked team. John Wall's a hothead, just like Russell Westbrook. And John Wall and Bradley Beal were never able to figure it out. Even against the Celtics, were never able to figure it out. So that was a no-go. I already knew that wasn't going to happen. Miami, that wasn't going to happen. LeBron was already there. He doesn't want to go somewhere where he's faced with LeBron's shadow. The only decision that made sense to me was Golden State. And I said this before he made his decision. Golden State was where he was going. And he went there. A lot of people were surprised, but I'm thinking to myself, where's the best situation? You go to a team that's already built to win, have like-minded guys, have guys with similar games to yours where you can move around without the basketball. That all made sense. So, in terms of this championship validating his move, it absolutely does, in my opinion, because not only did he prove the critics wrong about him going there and being a weak move, the team dominated. And when he went there, people were saying how there was struggle, their bench is gone, Bogut is gone, Harrison Barnes is gone, Barbosa is gone. All these guys are gone and they're going to struggle. It's going to be so hard for them to get bench production. There's going to be a lot of pressure on them to do this, that, and the third. They're a small team. They don't have rim protection. Kevin Durant comes in there, he's your rim protector. The bench still flourishes. Kevin Durant is playing the most efficient basketball he's ever done in his career. This man shot 70% in the 5th game in the NBA Finals. He averaged 35 in the Finals. Absolutely, it validates his decision because he gets to play with smart guys, like-minded guys. He not only did he came and contribute to the team, he led the team. See what I'm saying? He led the team. So basically, even though people come into a team like it's Steph Curry's team, this is LeBron James' team, etc. This is Westbrook's team. This was Kevin Durant's team. It was Kevin Durant led team. And he was absolutely vindicated. He felt right. He felt like a great fit. He looked like a great fit. He played like a great fit. A lot of people don't understand this about Kevin Durant. The reason why we haven't seen this kind of Kevin Durant before is just for the simple fact that he was losing to OKC. And you can't blame him for leaving because OKC lost James Harden, lost Serge Ibaka. They got rid of Reggie Jackson. They got rid of so many guys because they didn't want to pay extra $4 million in luxury tax. And he had to leave there. That was inevitable. But him and Russ just didn't mesh. And they didn't have that third guy that could come in there and be like the peacemaker. Like when James Harden was in OKC, he was like the glue because he kept those two guys together. When he got out of town, they just couldn't make it work. This absolutely made sense for him to go to Golden State, despite him being, losing a 3-1 lead. I think that whole him going to a team that beat him is what everybody can't get over. But if you watch the way that they played, it made perfect sense for him to go there. All signs pointed to Golden State, in my opinion, besides the competitive standpoint. But this absolutely makes perfect sense for him. You can't say nothing bad about him now. You can't hate on him because he showed you, if I get to the stage, I haven't been there in 5-6 years. If I could possibly get to the stage, this is what I'm going to do. Absolutely dominated. Hats off to him. This absolutely validates his decision. People are like, well, the competition is not as good, etc., etc. Hey, when LeBron went to Miami, you guys were mad for a little bit. He won championships. Y'all got over it. Kevin Durant, first year in, gets a championship. And the crazy part is, Golden State didn't. A lot of games that they won in the finals, they didn't even play like their best basketball. They had game 2, 20 turnovers, win by double figures. Game 3, they win even though they were down. So it just goes to show you he made the right decision for not only his career but for the game. Like it's not like we saw crappy basketball. It was like one-on-one basketball. We saw beautiful basketball. And you can't hate on that, man. This absolutely vindicates him and it validates his decision because I don't think he could go anywhere else in the NBA and he could flourish like the way he did besides Golden State. So this is Vlad from Hoops Junction where Hoops meets Hoopla. Peace.